this project is founded on the fact that Indigenous people, not only in Canada, but worldwide, are the most impacted by vehicle accidents. They have the highest rate of injury and death of any population. The approach that we are using is referred to as a participatory action research model. And by using that particular methodology, we are basing the knowledge and skills of community members to inform us on the best ways to reduce the risk of injury. How they go about that is unique to each community. 16 First Nation communities across this country, as well as other First Nation organizations, are engaged with our research team to bring about unique solutions to reduce that risk. The beauty of that is the solutions are community generated, owned by the community, and the investment of resources from within those communities is resulting in some very unique ways of addressing a significant problem. The approach has really been focused on children and youth because in each of the First Nation communities that are engaged with us, the investment in the young people in the community in terms of reducing injury has direct benefits to how they see the futures of their communities. One of the initiatives in particular, we looked at making sure that every child in the community had a booster seat. How to achieve that involved a partnership with business and industry as well as local social service clubs to ensure that enough funds were made available so that every child in that community had a booster seat. The importance of that is now that community has recognized the significance of that and is taking steps to ensure that in the future every child will have a booster seat. In other communities, increased street lighting and signage that is designed by people within the First Nation, using First Nation artists and also using the First Nation language on those signs has shown a great deal of success.
Safety awareness is really important. I mean, injury prevention, we want to decrease injury among First Nations. And we want to decrease this injury in our community. I think it's important because many of our community members have passed away. And, you know, we care about our community. And we're hoping that these signs make a difference.
We've been incredibly impressed by the fact that increased vehicular safety has become part of the dialogue within communities. People are talking about this as a way of not only investing in their communities, safeguarding their communities, but also reducing the costs that are incurred by the communities. Very interestingly, youngsters have taken a significant role in this. And in one example, the children designed their own traffic tickets. And as they see adults within their communities not complying with wearing seatbelts, etc., the children then give them a courtesy ticket, if you will, to remind them that not only are they placing themselves at risk by not complying with safety, but also placing youngsters at risk. And so by making this more of an engaged, fun-filled kind of way of approaching reducing the risk of injury, we're getting a much higher compliance on the part of community members. The beauty of this overall, I think, is that what's happening in First Nations is taking on a leadership role across this country and can be used by the greater communities or the dominant society in terms of how they can go about reducing the risk of injury. The transfer of knowledge and skill within the project has been significant. We are very interested in not only doing work in collaboration with First Nation communities, but also making sure that they have the knowledge and skill set to carry out these projects in a way that becomes sustainable. And also that they learn the skills and how to evaluate the successes of their project so that they can continue them and also seek out additional funding to make sure that they can expand upon these initiatives. So our long-term goal is not just to do this research and come up with some wonderful results, but to see how we have sustainability and a continued reduction in the risk of injury and death within First Nation communities, and expanding beyond that, the reduction of injury and death across Canada.